Your bite-sized daily roundup of the biggest news from the world of film. This is the Daily Reel with Van Connor.
Good morning! Today's Thursday, April the 29th, release day for XXX State of the Union and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy back in 2005, and the day the cinematic epic that was Fast 5 roared into cinemas in 2011. It's birthday to the legendary Michelle Pfeiffer, Uma Thurman, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Jerry Seinfeld, and it's the day this was going on. Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard is being lined up to return to the Monsterverse. After the first out-and-out success of the pandemic with GVK, which has now brought in $400 million globally, Legendary Pictures and Warner Bros. Studios are evidently looking to continue the series that many declared doomed, with naysayers suggesting the flick could be the grand finale of the franchise after the box office failure of 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters. With more features now on the cards, the studios have reportedly opened negotiations with Wingard to return for a sequel, ominously rumoured to be titled Son of Kong. The film is expected to delve deeper into the hollow earth that's now become integral to the franchise's connected mythos. The Monsterverse has had surprising legs, beginning with Gareth Edwards' well-received Godzilla in 2014, before being followed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts' box office smash Kong Skull Island in 2017, and then by Michael Dougherty's aforementioned King of the Monsters. However, with news of a fifth movie on the horizon, Wingard would become the first director to helm a second movie in the series. There's no word yet, though, on exactly when Wingard would be looking to start production on the rumoured follow-up, as he's already committed to both a Face-Off sequel at Paramount and a Thundercats adaptation for Warner's. None of those projects have been dated, though, so it's still possible for Son of Kong to hit the ground running first. And in the meanwhile, Netflix are working on a Skull Island anime, set to drop early next year.
That's Robo-Godzilla.
No, that's Mecha-Godzilla.
Gal Gadot is set to lead an adaptation of author Catriona Silvey's debut novel, Meet Me in Another Life. The sci-fi romance centers around Thora and Santi, two souls who keep meeting in different versions of reality, as friends, colleagues, lovers, enemies, and everything in between. But when the pair eventually come to the shocking realization of their fates, they have to discover the truth of their mysterious attachment before their many lives come to their final end. No writer or director has been attached to the project as yet, though Gadot will also produce alongside Wonder Woman producers Charles Roven and Richard Suckle. The novel for Meet Me in Another Life is due to hit UK bookstores on the 8th of July, while Gal Gadot can next be seen opposite Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds in spy thriller Red Notice, due on Netflix later this year.
It's not about deserve. It's about what you believe. And I believe in love.
Then I will destroy you!
And finally, there are only a scant few movies that have ever earned the distinction of a 100% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and since the site's inception in 1998, one of those films has been Orson Welles' lauded masterpiece Citizen Kane. Until now. With the unearthing of a 1941 Chicago Tribune review which criticized the film for a lack of, quote, distinction and general entertainment value, that's all changed, and the movie's dipped to a still respectable 99%. That does mean, however, that the following movies can now officially be called better than the so-called greatest film of all time. The Grapes of Wrath, The Maltese Falcon, The Terminator, Toy Story, and most excitingly of all, Paddington 2. In fact, with 244 reviews logged on the site, more than any other film to date, many on the internet have already begun to hail The Bear from Peru's second outing as the new greatest film of all time. In a statement, the film's writer and director Paul King said, "It's extremely lovely to be on any list which includes Citizen Kane, but it is obviously quite an eccentric list that goes from Citizen Kane to Paddington 2, so I'll try not to take it too seriously." He later continued that if Wells had been able to use the technology in use today, he might have come up with something, quote, nearly as good as Paddington 2. But he had to make do, King joked. He had to muster his meager talent into merely knocking out Citizen Kane. Issuing a statement via Twitter, Paddington himself said, "I do hope Mr. Kane won't be too upset when he hears I've overtaken him with Rotten Tomatoes." Paddington 3 is currently in active development and awaiting a release date.
Is it me or is it hot in here? Why do I feel so...
Uncomfortable. Flushed. Queasy. It's called a hard stare. My aunt taught me to do them when people had forgotten their manners.
The Amanda Seyfried and Natalie Dyer thriller Things Heard and Seen premieres on Netflix today, with Mubi adding Anna Odell's X and Y and 1972's Horror Express coming to Shudder. The documentary Being AP is showing on BBC4 tonight, with The Spy Who Loved Me and Bullet on ITV4, Daddy's Home 2, The Girl in the Spider's Web and Savage on Film 4. There's Dances with Wolves, Get Shorty and The Trust on Sony Movies, and on the Horror Channel you can catch Pacific Heights and Nude Nuns with Big Guns. While the Sky Cinema and Now premiere for today is the Casper Van Dien thriller Dead Water. That was the Daily Reel for Thursday 29th of April. Keep it cinematic, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The Daily Reel is a Candystore production, presented by Van Connor and written by Calvin Prickett. All information is correct at the time of writing, and source links are in the description for each episode. Don't forget to rate, review and subscribe on all good podcast platforms, or ask Alexa to install the Daily Reel skill for your morning flash briefing. Follow the show on social at Daily Reel Pod, and we'll be back every weekday. Until then, keep it cinematic.